the sanatorium. We are inside. Check this out. You still have a lot of these features left. I mean, hard to remove. Nice columns, some patterns. Looks like there was some herringbone tiling. And then you have these great staircases all around. Let's pop out on this balcony here. Imagine yourself sitting here, relaxing, maybe with some Georgian wine. This one is built around a central courtyard, which makes it very difficult for us to see, but the building sort of circles around it. Look at that, the old elevator. Continues back here. It looks like there could have been some later addition there. That one looks a bit more austere compared to the decorated part we're in at the moment. Just enter another wing of the building. Just gotta stay balanced here. Stepping out on the balcony. Nice rounded balconies, and this would have been overlooking this sort of side entrance where you come in, and all the newly arriving guests, you can size them up. Beautiful stairs here. No railing. And all the way at the bottom there, it's just dirt ground, and there is some sort of pipe that's leaking, and it's just coming out pretty quickly. So a bit ominous sounding. All right, let's get a room tour. See what it would have looked like back in the day. How about this one? I think the layout would probably be pretty identical on these. All right, let's step in. Room 50. Bathroom to the right here. Not the greatest condition, but you can still see some of the signs of what it would have been. You have the crown molding. Yeah, you have the herringbone hardwood floor. So yeah, some luxuries to it, and obviously your own little balcony with these grand pillars. It's overlooking one of these side entrances, so you'd have the water feature, the fountain in the middle. So yeah, not too bad. Looking at some of these items left behind. There's a calendar here from 2019. So there has been some activity since it was abandoned as a hotel after the fall of the Soviet Union. Tough to say whose calendar that is, but if we look at a general theme here, these hotels were used as emergency housing for refugees fleeing the Abkhazia war in the early 1990s. There was a war fought between Georgia and Russian-backed separatists. Up there you can still see fresh laundry hanging on the clothesline. So I just saw a gentleman running up the stairs there as well, with thought it was some security guard, but he just powered right past. So yeah, it looks like this is also an active sort of accommodation. People still living here. Here you can see some signs of habitation. Still a door and a curtain for some privacy. Let's step out onto the balcony here. Here we can see the courtyard a bit better. You can see some central pools here. Not bad at all. It's very impressive architecture. Definitely not the stereotypical concrete blocks that come to mind when you hear Soviet architecture. This is completely different. All right, here we can see the structure starting to go. Here the floor is intact basically, and we have very tall ceilings. Again, a circular balcony and the ornate columns. Doesn't look too bad. Makes you wonder what a holiday in a place like this would have been like. Let's hit the top floor here. Alright, I think we found one of the deluxe rooms on the top floor of this building. And you have two windows, and they're arched as well. And there we have that building in the back there. If that was probably wasn't a later edition, it was probably like a service building, maybe for like the staff and the kitchens maybe, and the laundry there, so therefore it looks a bit less decorated, less ornate. Alright, look at those views. Hope you can make it out, but all the way in the back there you have the mountain range. Down there you have another of these sanatoriums, sanatoria. Very nice and serene setting here, nestled in among the hills. I'd say, yeah, probably not a bad holiday spot. The only thing I would not like about the way the Soviets did it was that it sounded a bit like you come here not just to chill out, kick your feet up, have a beer or some Georgian wine. It was more they actually came here, they had the healing waters and mineral springs that were supposed to cure you of your ailments. So it sounded a bit more like a chore to come here. You're on a strict regimen. You meet a doctor, and they'll tell you which treatments you need, and then you're basically expected to follow that sort of schedule day by day. So it wasn't a completely hassle-free holiday. All right, I think we're good to go. In recent years, many of these buildings have been sold off to private investors. So you have sort of Georgian investors, even foreign investors who bought these, probably with the plan of hopefully refurbishing them and opening a hotel. But that also means that many of them have put up gates, and they even have security guards on the premises. It becomes a bit more of a hassle. That's not my thing. Wow, check this out. It's the main sort of motor court there, and here, this would have been the first thing you see when you enter the lobby. There's some sort of reception area here. You come check in, get your keys for the week, whatever 2 weeks you'd be here. And then step into the courtyard and get your first taste of that healing mineral water that this place and really this country is known for. It's a serious camper right there. Sanatorium, check. You can see the tree-lined driveway, and as I mentioned before, they're all sort of built around this central park down here, and that's where we're headed. That guy's off to invade a small country. This is the river canal that runs around the whole park here. It is a park. It is obviously very big, and without the maintenance, it's completely overgrown, unfortunately. But these walkways around the perimeter are pretty nicely kept. Local ladies here taking a stroll in the park. Just up ahead we have one of the more famous sanatoriums here. Not the most impressive architecturally speaking, if we compare it with all the other ones around here. It's hard to compete with them. But here it is. Spring number 6. And this was the bathhouse preferred by the leader himself, Joseph Stalin. He used to come here, and yeah, he even had his own little pool. Come here and have a soak, take a bit of a break between committing terrible crimes against humanity. This would be the place. Come and chill a bit. Very impressive reception here. Here you see some of the treatments you can come and get, covered in clay. Spring number 6 in Tskaltubo, and here you can see it. If you didn't believe me earlier, there you have him right in the middle with his comrades. rehearsal in there, some sort of dance crew with swords. Pretty cool. So this is the Palace of Culture. Very classic, having this sort of House of Culture where people would come, go to the theater, plays were put on, singing performance, or in this case, a dance performance. All right, back out into the heat we go. Here we are downtown Tskaltubo, one of the main roundabouts. Got a stretch Hummer limo there. Pure class. We got the majestic gates to the Central Park. We got some of the bathhouses just down there as well. Right in the middle here we got the old post office. Looks like there's been some work on it, renovation works, but they look to have stalled, completely abandoned. What has installed though is renovation on this sanatorium right here, bringing it back to its olden days. I just came up the side street. Check out this relief here on the side of this otherwise pretty sad looking, literally gray building. You can see the workers depicted. In this case, you see the power lines in the middle there. So these guys are like the, what do you call them, electricians, working for the power company. So yeah, they're carrying the poles, and here you have them holding the wires. Nice little find on the side streets. Nice little beauty there. These places would have had names like steel workers, miners, after the laborers that would have come and stayed in them. Hard to say what it looked like in practice, who came to these places. It definitely wasn't just the elite, but I'm wondering in practice what it looked like. In the Soviet Union, you did have your right to rest, so a couple weeks to go away and yeah, go on holiday basically. But coming here would have still been quite expensive, I would think. But yeah, this was a very popular vacation spot. Back in the day, there was even a train directly from Moscow down here. So people would have come in the thousands. Beautiful relief up there on the side of the building. Still intact. Guarded by this guy. No worries there. Alright, I'm gonna head down into the city center, but look at these streets. They're super wide. Look at the intersection, it just goes on forever. So you really have to put your back into it if you want to make it out here alive. Alright, let's go. ubiquitous Georgian street dog. And a hooligan on a Vespa. Oh dear. Alright, we're moving into the center along this, beautiful canal. Here we have a bus stop. Maybe a bit of an overkill, structurally speaking, but it will certainly do the job to keep you dry from the rain and the snow. Got a couple posters. Seen some of these around town. I think these are for the Georgia Dream Party. Questionable name. As much as I know, which is not much, is that they're sort of more Russia-leaning as opposed to other parties that might want to be a bit more allied with Europe and the West, so to speak. But yeah, as you can see here, Georgia Dream seems to be, I don't know if they're popular here, but they're at least making a push in Tskaltubo. Let's see what comes of that. And across the street, behind the trees, is another humongous sanatorium. Who would have thunk it? Let's see if we can cross over here and check out this. Alright, here we go. We're gonna get... This is a good example of one of the hotels that clearly been bought up and invested in. So you got the gates up, or the fence up, and scaffolding on the building. So something's happening there, and that's going to be a good location as well. It's right in the middle of the city center. Maybe a bit of a generous term for it. It's the most centrally located roundabout, and a couple buildings around it. You can see the turrets up there as well, the towers. So they are everywhere. And here, wild guess, I'm gonna say this is the football or soccer stadium. Huge space for a sign. Just put a soccer ball in the middle and be done with it. Very clear. Just strolling in the Central Park here, and what I see in the bushes. Let's have a look at this. Nice little path here. So this is yet another bathhouse. It's not the sanatorium which had the hotel connected to it. This is more, you come, get a bath, and leave. Have a look at that. Absolutely breathtaking architecture, and this shape is obviously quite unique in itself. It's definitely unique in Tsqaltubo. Many of the buildings, as we saw in that earlier one, are a bit sort of grander, really has that sort of resort feel to it. Walking around here, you can see how it's laid out in circular patterns, and then you just have the baths around there. Look there, so you can see you would have like the pipes coming out of here, drawing water to all of these pods. Looks like quite a communal activity. I'm just lying around here, having a chin wag, and yeah, being cured by these magical waters that run through the ground here. What else do we have? We have these dividing walls, so not everyone is in each other's business. And here you can also see etchings in these walls. Graffiti usually not the greatest, but in this case it actually highlights the image, so you can see it's a jumping deer galloping in a field. Got the flowers here and the plants. Along the side of it, you can see the broken down wall and entryways. So that's where you have the changing rooms back there. Come in here. Look at that. Bathhouse number 8, it's called. Nothing fancy. Bathhouse number 8. Go there. Central rotunda here. No prize for guessing, just a water feature. This would be pretty cool though if you restored this. Got some of the pools in here, maybe made some of them a bit bigger. Middle, pop in a nice little bar there. Maybe a little DJ booth. Let's go check some of these other walls. Looks like the artist sort of ran out of ideas and just replicated. Little Bambi there. Taking a closer look at these pods, it looks like it's slanted on that end, so it looks like you'd have your head on that side looking away from the middle, which would of course give a bit more privacy. Yeah. Nothing to see in the side rooms, right? So even if it would have been operational, and experience tells me it's just become a public toilet. Feels a bit cooler in here. Just scorching hot walking around this park, so it's nice to come in here. Cool down for a bit. We got the deer. Well, it looks like we have a what is that? A peacock, maybe? Some sort of a majestic avian creature. I guess a bird. Just cooling down here in the heat on this neighborhood shop. We're up on the side of the hill. This is what most of the buildings up here look like. Except one of them around the corner. There's another sanatorium from the 80s, so that one will look a bit different. So let's go check that one out. Off we go. Here you can see glimpses of the building. Not really. We got running along the side here. These are gas pipes, and there seems to have been a burst in the water pipe, so there's some extra irrigation there. Here we can see the exterior of the building, the front side of it. So really run down. Pretty underwhelming, crappy looking compared to the palatial structures that there are so many of here. But there could be a little silver lining with this one. Let's see. There's the party bus, the stretch Hummer, making a 3-point turn. Bit of a mosaic still visible on that wall there. It's on its last legs though. Hard to tell what's depicted, but you see kids and men and women having a good time. Looking at the architecture of this building, it's much more modern than the other buildings. The other buildings have been built, even though they're not old either, they look much older in the style than they actually are. They were built in the 50s and the 60s. This building was apparently completed in the 80s. And this is really the sort of pièce de résistance for this place. It's the whole building's really about to go, but this mosaic has prevailed. And it's depicting the custom, the culture, the history of winemaking in this country. So you see the ladies with the basket full of grapes. This guy's doing the taste test. And yeah, grapes are being pressed over there. This guy over here seems pretty useless. He's clearly given up for the day. For him, it's already tomorrow. I don't know if you heard that, but you can hear music coming from the balconies. There is a car parked outside. And this building was one of those buildings, like many others, that was used to house refugees, domestic refugees fleeing war. So they made their home here. Many across the city have already been sort of rehoused. But yeah, there were so many that I guess it's taken a long time. And the process is not completely done. Corona information. Many of these sanatoriums were built for a specific group of sort of laborers, depending on what you did for work or what sort of level you were within the communist system. So if you were a party elite, obviously you would be catered to. You get the highest in luxury, and then you probably go down from there. Not to disparage the system. Yeah, you can see chandeliers up there, so. And this particular building, completed in the 80s, was meant for the Ministry of Internal Affairs of the Soviet Union. So I'm sure they had some good times when they came down here to Tskaltubo. And there you can see the name as well. This was the Hotel Aya. Had a bit of a fall from grace, but again, still has those two mosaics, so clinging on to the past, and time will tell what will happen with the Hotel Aya in the future, if there are any of those investors that will pick it up and turn it into something cool once more.